Hi guys, this is Akash and I'm here to make things simple for you. So one of the most important sorting techniques is the selection sort, and sometimes it may cause problems for you. So first of all, what we would do, we would understand the basic concept of selection sort using an example, and then we will see how the program for selection sort works. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so here's an array and it is having 5 numbers. Okay, so the numbers are 11, 23, 12, 36 and 25. Okay, and we need to sort this array, suppose in ascending order. Okay, so now this is an unsorted array and we need to apply selection sort to sort this. So first of all, let us see how the selection sort actually works. Okay, now in the selection sort, we select, I use the word select, and that is why it is known as selection sort, because we are going to select the number at the 0th index of the array and we compare it with the rest of the numbers in the array. So we select and then we compare that number. So that is why it is known as selection sort. Okay, so we select this number 11, okay, which is at the 0th index of the array, and then what we'll do, we'll then compare this 11 with the rest of the numbers in the array, which are 23, 12, 36 and 25. Okay, so when we compare this number 11 with the rest of the numbers in the array, our aim is to identify the first number which comes and which is actually smaller than 11. Okay, so we encounter the following numbers which are 23, 12, 36 and 25, and out of all these none of the numbers is greater than 11. Okay, so we know for the fact that 11 is smaller than all these numbers, and that is why we keep 11 as it is. Okay, we keep 11 on the 0th index of the array. Now we move our position to the first index. We select the value at the first index. Okay, so now we move to the first index, that is the value 23, and then we compare 23 to the remaining values on the right side of the array, as you can see here. Okay, so we compare 23 with 12, 36 and 25. Okay, now the first number encountered is 12, and we know that 12 is smaller than 23. So what we do, we just swap the values 12 and 23. We swap the positions. Okay, so now 12 comes in place of 23 and 23 goes in place of 12, right? Okay, so we are done with the 0th and the first index of the array. So now we will move on to the second index of the array, and currently what is the value there at the second index of the array? It is 23. So we now compare with 23 to the values on the right side of the array, which are 36 and 25. Okay, and we know that 23 is smaller than 36 and 25, so there is no change in this. Okay, so now we move on to the third index in the array. Okay, and at the third index the value is 36. Okay, so when we compare 36 to the remaining values on the right, and there is only one value on the right, that is 25. Okay, and we know that 25 is smaller than 36, so we interchange their positions. So this is how selection sort works. So once we interchange the positions, we have our final sorted array ready, which is 11, 12, 23, 25 and 36. So I hope you got how the selection sort actually works. Okay, so once we are clear with the concept of selection sort, we can move on to see the program, right? So let us go ahead with the program. As we have seen in the selection sort, the concept is we just keep on selecting the numbers at the specific position, and in case a greater number is encountered on the right side of the array, we just swap it. Okay, that is the concept in selection sort. So here's the program. Int array A 100. So we have kept a large number of arrays. I mean an array which can consist a large number of integers A. Okay. Then we have some other integer values like n, I, j, position and swap. So now we are printing on the screen enter the number of elements, right? And we scanf percentile d and we put the number of elements to n. Okay, so we are asking those number of elements to be entered from the user. Okay, next we ask printf enter those number of numbers which the user wants to enter. Okay, so like the user enters 5, so then we ask which are those 5 numbers. Okay, so now we just run the next loop for I equal to 0, I smaller than n, I plus plus. We scanf those values and store it into the array A. Okay, so from the 0 to the 4th index of the array, the 5 numbers are stored. Okay, now comes the real part in which we implement the selection sort. So look at the outer array, which is for I equal to 0, I smaller than n minus 1 and I plus plus. Okay, so here we are actually traversing from the 0th index to n minus 1th index, as we have seen in the example. We keep a variable position equal to I. So we are initializing position with 0th index. Position is the variable, okay, which we are using as a matter of index. Okay, so in the position we will be storing the index of the smallest number here, okay, or the index of the number on which currently we are working. So that is the position. Next inner loop is for j equal to I plus 1, j smaller than n and j plus plus. Okay, so as we have seen in the selection sort example, we focus on the number initially on the 0th index. Okay, so that focus is made using the outer loop for I equal to 0. Okay, now we start comparing it with the rest of the numbers on the right side of the array. Okay, so that is done by the inner loop for j equal to I plus 1, j smaller than n and j plus plus. So now we compare if a position is greater than aj, that is if the number on the 0th index is greater than the number on the first index or the index after it, then we just swap it, the positions, okay, as we have seen in the selection sort. Okay, so first of all we see if a position is greater than aj, then it means that the number which is there on the 0th index, that is not the smallest number. Okay, so we found a number aj which is actually smaller than a position. Okay, so our position should be pointing on j. Okay, so we store the value of j into position because we are actually going to swap the positions whenever we encounter a number greater than that number which is stored on the 0th index, as we have seen in the example. So if a position is greater than aj, then position equal to j. In the next thing we get if position is not equal to I, that is my position which was initially pointing on I, after comparison on the right side of the array, if it is not equal to I, it means we have found a number which is smaller than the number stored on the 0th index. So we need to swap. Okay, so here we are swapping them. Okay, and then simply when we swap it and we just go on with the loop, we get the final array, which is the sorted array, and we just print that array. Okay, so let us run the program. So program asks enter number of elements. The user enters 5. So now the program asks to enter those 5 numbers. Okay, so the user enters them as 11, 22, 12, 26 and 35. And our program works like magic. Okay, so it prints the number 11, 12, 22, 26 and 35. So that's how selection sort works. Now in the exam, in the debugging exercises, you can actually get like this. If A position is smaller than AJ, so we are making the wrong comparison because we are looking for the number which is greater than the 0th index number. So here we are making the opposite comparison. So the program will work incorrectly. As we can see here, if we enter these numbers, this is not the proper sorted array. Okay, so if we reverse that, so we get another kind of sorted array. Okay, if we reverse this logic, we get a reverse sorted array which is in the descending order. Okay, so this is how we control the ascending and the descending sequence of the array while we do the selection sort. By doing just minor change, we can actually reverse the entire program. Okay, so here it is 34, 22, 13, 12 and 11. So here it is sorted in the descending manner if you want to do that. So many modifications or errors can be given in the debugging exercises, and we need to understand the logic. I hope you got the logic of the selection sort. In case you like the video, please hit the like button and do subscribe the channel. In case you want to practice more on these exercises, and in case you want to access more of our videos, please do visit teachmycourse.com, and in order to get more exercises, do join us on the Telegram. Okay, do join us our Telegram channel. The link for it is given right there. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video and thank you for watching.